Hello, welcome back to Armchair Armory, and it has finished at Goodison Park. Everton 1, Arsenal 0. So, our second loss of the Premier League season. We weren't great today. Everton fully deserved the win. I wouldn't necessarily say they dominated us, but they definitely controlled the game in midfield, and the stars were aligned to what I was worried was going to happen. You know, new manager, early kickoff, all that stuff. Goodison Park, it's happened to us before many times. It was just inevitable that something like this would happen, and for some reason we just weren't at it today. Couldn't keep hold of the ball for more than two touches. When we did get chances, which we did, we didn't take them properly. So yeah, a poor day at the office, I'd say today. If we're comparing it to all our performances so far this Premier League season, I would probably say it's the worst performance so far. Just because, you know, it's been so good. Even when we lost to Man United at Old Trafford in September, it was a better performance than today. Yeah, it's disappointing because if we won today, we would have gone 8 points clear as City play Spurs tomorrow, and I don't think we can count on Spurs to either beat or hold City to a draw. So we're probably looking at going into the next round of Premier League fixtures 2 points clear. Yeah, it's disappointing. I just hope that we're able to pick ourselves up for Brentford next week, because you know that's the worst thing that's the worst thing that can happen is like two losses on the bounce, or a loss and a draw on the bounce with City coming up next. So yeah, it is very, very disappointing. You know, Saka and Martinelli didn't get in the game. To be fair, Arteta, I think, did the right thing in bringing on Jorginho and Trossard. They didn't really get in the game either. Jorginho looked a bit nervous, kept losing the ball in dangerous areas, that kind of thing. People will probably be sitting there saying, oh yeah, we should have never signed him and all this kind of stuff. But I think he did okay. I don't think he was bad. Trossard was better, I'd say, apart from the fact that he kept shooting, like trying to curl the ball around the defence and all that. But the one thing I will comment on is that I turned off my phone during the game because sometimes the Sky Puck that I use to watch, because I've got Sky Glass, that I use to watch TV, sometimes is on a delay. So I turn off my phone to make sure that the notifications from the OneFootball app don't come through and that kind of stuff. And so I turned on my phone and went straight to Twitter, which is always a mistake. And already people were overreacting and saying it's like it's as bad as when we played Everton at Goodison Park last season and all this kind of stuff. And I wouldn't go as far as to say that. I think we actually played well at kind of an average standard. I wouldn't necessarily say we were amazing, but it was bad compared to all of our other performances. And that's what's disappointing. You could look at it on the other side and say Everton were that good defensively and that good breaking down our midfield that's what kept us out. I just think we couldn't match them in terms of what they were trying to do. They were doing what a Sean Dyche team normally does. You know, 11 men behind the ball. You know, make it difficult for the opposition when they want to play free flowing, and yeah, count and then catch them on the counter or through a set piece, which is how they got their goal. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times, and there wasn't really. I mean, apart from the fact that the defenders, the people defending the corner, were all drawn in one direction, which left, you know, Tarkowski being marked by Ødegaard, and Ødegaard wasn't strong enough to keep him off, and he managed to get a head in. So yeah. And I think from that moment, as soon as the goal went in, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a game where we're not going to get anything out of this unless we're really, really lucky. There was a check for handball, which we didn't get around the 81st minute or something like that. But yeah, it just felt like one of those days. I said in the preview that I was having flashbacks of 02-03 with Wayne Rooney bursting on the scene and Damari Gray last season scoring that was it Damari Gray? I'm not sure. Anyway, scoring that mad goal right at the end, and that was a bad performance that day. But this wasn't necessarily like that. This just felt like we were in second or third gear for most of the game. It just felt like we weren't quite coordinated today. But that doesn't mean to say that we were like awful. I just say we just weren't coordinated today. It just felt like the game plan that we were trying to play wasn't working, and we were losing confidence as the game went on. I think we were, slightly better in the second half, but yeah, it was definitely that. It just felt like we weren't very coordinated today. So yeah, as I say, if you want to be champions, you've got to dust yourself off and go again, and that is Brentford on Saturday, 3:00 kickoff at the Emirates. We got to get the 3 points because it's really important that we come out of that with 3 points. We go into the City game on the 15th of February with a win. We have to do that. But as I've been saying all season, like so far, this would probably be where I'd say the difference between us and City would be, is that City know how to win and they have the depth in squad to win, whereas we seem to fall at the first hurdle when our plan A doesn't seem to work. And maybe that might change in a few weeks when Trossard and Jorginho get used to being in the squad and all that kind of stuff, but it feels like at the moment that we don't really have a plan B at this moment in time. So yeah, I guess we're going to have to learn as we go along. I mean, I'm not going to, as I've been saying all season, I don't think we're going to win the league anyway, because it's times like this that make me think we're not going to win the league, because that's the difference between us and City. But anyway, I'll leave it there. I will be back again in the week previewing the Brentford game. Until then, take care and stay safe.